Well, welcome to the Mosquito Joe Business Opportunity. I'm Schager, brand president of Mosquito Joe. And for the next 15 minutes, I'm going to share with you what I think is the best franchising opportunity in the country today. Now, that's a really bold thing to say, but I'm confident over the course of this presentation and through interacting with our team and learning about Mosquito Joe, you're going to feel the same way. Now, for those that know me, whenever I do a presentation, I always start with the images you see here. As you look at that, what do you see? You see beautiful, smiling children and faces that are happy and also probably itch-free, because these are our customers. And that's what Mosquito Joe brings to the country. Our vision, to be so remarkable, we become a beloved household name across the country by making outside fun again. We truly live that every day, and I look forward to describing how we do that over the next couple minutes. Now, before I continue, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I come from a really large family. I'm one of 14 kids, and we lived in our backyard, and we got eaten alive in our backyard because that was in the 70s. Well, today we don't have to be like that anymore. Now, I'm proud to say that I spent 27 years in the Navy. 24 of those years, I flew F-14 and F-18 aircraft. Proud to say that I graduated from the Navy's Top Gun. I also commanded an F-18 squadron in combat. The last 3 years of my Navy career, I served as commanding officer of Naval Air Station Oceana here in Virginia Beach, where I saw 16,000 people coming on and off the base. And I share that with you for this reason. For the first 24 years of my naval career, I was the recipient of customer service. When you're flying combat missions over in Afghanistan, if I needed a part, I was going to get that part, but I never took that customer service for granted. The last 3 years of my Navy career, I was now the provider of customer service for 16,000 people every day. Well, when I was seeking opportunities following my Navy career, Mosquito Joe was the perfect fit, and here's why. Because I am now providing customer service for literally hundreds of thousands of customers across the country, bringing health and happiness to their lives. And it starts with you. People with what I like to say have PhDs. They're passionate, they're hungry, and they're driven. Those three qualities really fit nicely into the Mosquito Joe business model. Let's talk about the compelling attributes of part of the Mosquito Joe opportunity. First off, it's a large and growing market. Mosquitoes are not going anywhere. And in fact, they're continuing to grow and move further north and throughout the country. Next, in general in the pest control industry, there's strong unit economics. There's high gross margins, low fixed expenses, and for the Mosquito Joe opportunity, there's a low initial investment, which sets the great foundation for new entrepreneurs like yourself starting your own business. Mosquito Joe also enjoys a high recurring model, one where you're continuing to go back and visit your customers week after week, generating that predictable revenue flow, which is very, very important when you're talking about cash flow and maintaining your business. Another compelling attribute to the Mosquito Joe opportunity is this. Pest control in general is deemed an essential business. That means that through our public health service, Mosquito Joe is needed throughout the country to protect you and your family and your pets against vector-borne diseases. In addition, our business offering is a very simple process. It's not to say that there's not hard and challenging days, but in general, our owners often comment on how much they enjoy the seasonality of this business. From March, generally through October, they find themselves working really diligently, allowing the winter months to recharge their batteries, take some time off, and recalibrate before the next season. Now let's talk about some of those compelling attributes from my perspective as the franchisor. I've always believed from day one to make sure we are always well capitalized. That started in 2013 when we generated $3.5 million in investment from local investors, to today where we join Neighborly, a multi-billion-dollar organization which provides that foundation to allow us to grow. We've got a really strong management team, hundreds of years of experience, both within the Mosquito Joe corporate team as well as across the entire Neighborly spectrum. We've also firmly believed in continuing to invest in the resources which provide you those business services. And lastly, and most importantly, we're very, very franchisee-centric. We're Mosquito Joe owner-centric, and my goal is to make sure that you receive that support you need every day. So I've shared with you some of those compelling attributes for you as the franchisee. I've also shared some of those compelling attributes for myself as the franchisor. I'd like to share some testimonials from our franchisees themselves, why they think the Mosquito Joe opportunity has benefited them so greatly.
When I was shopping for franchises, the thing I liked about Mosquito Joe is the repetitive nature, knowing that once you have a customer, you're going to be able to service them again and again and again.
An old friend of mine called me and said, hey, you should try Mosquito Joe, and I kind of laughed and said, I don't think I can get excited about pest control. I was blown away. I couldn't believe how well it worked. I was so impressed by it. About 30 days later, we ended up buying the franchise. I like the structure, I like the accountability, I love the fact that you're a part of something that's bigger, that I have a whole team of people throughout South Carolina, throughout the country. Man, you really have not only corporate supporting you, but all the other franchisees.
It's been a great relationship since day one. When we came on board 5 years ago, the leadership team has been great. They're always there to support us, to help us make decisions, to get us through season to season. But the first couple of years, they were very helpful. The business coaches is very instrumental in helping us grow. I could say nothing but great things about this team.
Mosquito Joe has just been great for my life in terms of, stability, financial growth, the flexibility in my schedule. It's just done a lot for my life, and I'm very happy with how I've been able to grow this business.
With a franchise, you've got the support of the corporate team, you've got the support of other franchisees. This is a great opportunity. I say all the time, we don't really know where the ceiling is yet.
And now let's talk about what I love talking about, the brand execution. Any successful franchising opportunity, it really is all about the brand. And for Mosquito Joe, just look at the bright, bold colors you're seeing here. It really, really highlights what makes us great. If you look at our van, the bright yellow, vibrant colors, it's literally a moving billboard across the street. Secondly, is you notice our consistency. We can't be mistaken for another brand as you look at all these deliverables. Our marketing team does an outstanding job of making sure our branding is very consistent, extremely differentiating, and memorable. What I love about our marketing is the humor. Unlike many businesses, especially in the pest control industry, we bring a lighthearted approach to what is often a dour subject. That humor really makes it memorable.
Don't dance around your mosquito and tick problem. Let Mosquito Joe take care of it.
As I mentioned earlier, we're very proud to have joined Neighborly Brands in August of 2018. Here you can see Neighborly's vision and purpose to be so remarkable we become a beloved household name, and a purpose to build a service community that enriches people's lives by delivering amazing experiences. And then now for Mosquito Joe and what we do. We eliminate outdoor pests, bringing health and happiness to your family and pets across the country. And back in 2018, when we joined Neighborly, that was a deliberate move that I knew we had to make. If you think about this, joining a franchising network, the largest in the world, where you have 27 service brands, 17 service verticals, with over 4,300 franchisees, all leveraging best practices, all focused on superior customer support. And what does this mean to you? It means we're a great company with like-minded partners sharing similar business goals, bringing superior customer service around the country. Speaking of around the country, Mosquito Joe has continued to expand since we started in 2013. As you can see in 2020, we have 150 franchisees committed to 348 territories in 38 states plus Washington, D.C. Here at Mosquito Joe, we're proud of what we do, but it's awfully nice to get that third-party validation from reputable sources. Entrepreneur.com continues to recognize Mosquito Joe as #1 in pest category, in addition to being recognized as a great opportunity for veterans as well as women throughout the country. So I've mentioned support earlier. Let's dive into that a little bit more. We pride ourselves in bringing the best and brightest talent from around the country to provide that world-class support you deserve. Starting with just 5 employees back in 2013, we've grown to well over 25 here in the Virginia Beach corporate office. But you have access to literally hundreds and hundreds of Neighborly associates, all standing by to provide you that help on a day in and day out basis to make sure your business can succeed. The support we provide along the way, I like to break up into 3 sections. pre-opening, your first 30 days, and then post-opening and beyond. Pre-opening, you see the list of opportunities and functions we provide you. I'd like to just highlight a couple of them. Let's talk about the opener checklist. This is something that provides a new franchise owner a systematic process to knock out all those things necessary prior to acquiring your first customer and subsequent first service. I've also highlighted the budget planning. Oftentimes, new owners come in without a true understanding of the budgetary process or financial implications. We provide a step-by-step process to ensure that you are ready from day one, all the way through succession planning and meeting your personal and professional goals. I've talked about pre-opening. Now let's talk about those first 30 days of operating a Mosquito Joe business. On the screen, you see some of the items where we provide support. One of them is a PR agency. Oftentimes, it's challenging to get your name out in the local press or on the local newscasts. Well, we can help you with that. Another item we found some franchise owners have difficulty with is marketing itself. Our marketing team is there to provide you all the support you need to make sure that the Mosquito Joe brand is known throughout the community on day one. And so now your first 30 days are in the books. Now what happens after that? We're going to continue to be there 24/7 to provide that world-class support. Some of the things, as you can see listed here, include the regional meetings. We also have our annual convention. When I think about our convention, I think of number one, having a lot of fun. Number two, sharing best practices with your fellow Mosquito Joe business owners to make sure that you can reach your personal and professional goals. I also want to point out that on a weekly basis throughout the year, we have a live conference call, one that we share information that is apropos for the time of the year, while also offering an opportunity for you to ask questions, either from the operations perspective or the marketing perspective. But at the end of the day, know that our staff is here for you. As I mentioned before, we're franchisee-centric, we're Mosquito Joe owner-centric, and my goal is to make sure that you receive that support you need every day. Let's talk about running the day-to-day business of Mosquito Joe. I've mentioned before, it's a pretty simple, straightforward business. Some of our owners are fully engaged 100% from the beginning, and some are semi-absentee, meaning they'll continue their day-to-day job until they get fully into the Mosquito Joe business, maybe year one or year two. There's two key players, two key roles which need to be filled. One is the office manager role, and the other is the lead technician role. Think of the office manager as that first point of contact with your customer. The second point of contact is that face-to-face interaction with your lead technician. That lead technician is someone that's going to be certified within your state for all the pesticide and commercial application qualifications, and they are the ones going to the home and connecting with the customers firsthand. So you start with your office manager with the computer and IT support with which we'll provide. You have your vehicle and you have your lead technician. As more customers come on board, you'll more than likely need an additional technician, not only for redundancy, but also for some additional support if you have more services per day per vehicle. And as the business continues to grow, add an additional vehicle, additional technicians to support that recurring revenue service model as more and more customers come on board. So I just described how Mosquito Joe can scale for you. But let's talk about what differentiates us from the competition. As you see depicted here is the Mosquito Joe advantage. We like to say we help educate our franchisees to differentiate. And think of these as scripts. We'll provide all the content to those scripts through your training process. And over time, through our training and through practicing with us, this will eventually become your personal compelling story. So when that consumer calls and has a question about how we affect the honeybee population, you could quickly come back and say, well, sir or ma'am, we have a pollinator protection management program, which really is a thoughtful way of applying our products to ensure that the honeybees thrive. You could talk about our Mosquito Joe guarantee. Again, that stamp of approval guaranteeing that we'll provide world-class service. We'll provide all the content to those scripts through your training process. Part of that Mosquito Joe advantage in educating to differentiate also requires us to know what are the public health concerns. What about the vector-borne diseases? For example, West Nile virus is a threat in 48 states. If you think about ticks, and in particular diseases that are brought about by ticks to include Lyme disease or Rocky Mountain spotted fever. Mosquito Joe looks at the natural media cycles, inform the general public about those public health concerns, and Mosquito Joe says we are a solution to that problem. We can provide that health and happiness that you've been seeking despite the challenges that are going to always be there. So I've shared a lot of information with you, and I know it's a lot to absorb, but what are next steps? Well, I invite you to communicate and connect with one of our franchise developers. Each of them have a wealth of knowledge about the service offer. Reach out to them, email them, give them a phone call. They're smart, and they'll be able to talk you through any questions you may have about the business offer. Also, take a look at us online. There's a robust amount of social media opportunities as well as online links to allow you to be more informed about the Mosquito Joe business offer. Well, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to learn more about the Mosquito Joe opportunity. As I wrap up, I'd like to remind you that over the last 8 years, Mosquito Joe has experienced significant growth, and we've generated great excitement throughout the country. But I'll also share with you that this is just the beginning. If you share the same passion as we do here at Mosquito Joe, if you share those same qualities I described before, being a PhD, being passionate, hungry, and driven, and you're interested in leading your family into a direction of financial independence, I encourage you to continue this investigation process with us. Let's do this journey together. Thanks for taking the time, and have a great day.